All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. This is a brand new episode of Breaking the Block, which we do every Saturday at 10 a.m. Eastern. And I will allow my co-hosts to introduce themselves. I will be fixing their links in the description box. So check them out, and I will be popping the links into the chat as well. So I'm going to do Rach, Skye, Rita, and then Maggie.
All right. Well, I'm Rach, or Rachel D. Adams, as an author. I co-write with Don McClellan, and we have a release as of yesterday officially for book 3 of our Dragon Tasker series. So I'm coming off of celebration time, And I also have Aggressively Helpful Writing Advice as my Substack. So check that out if you're a writer. There's probably some advice in there that somebody's missed along the way. Just saying.
All right. And my name is Skye. I'm a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under the name SD Haggis. I also had a new release this month, and now I'm working on the sequel with the new year. So, yay.
I'm Rita, also Miranda over at Miranda's Cauldron. I write young adults, fantasy, urban fantasy actually, with witches. And I normally host sprints on Monday mid-mornings and Saturday mornings. And I'm not published yet, but 2025 will be my year.
Soon. Hello, lovelies. Mama Megaboard, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine sufferer, and I scribble a lot. I am currently working through publishing the Relic of Time War series, which will have book number 11 releasing in January, and the Pagosa Clips series, which I will be re-releasing the first trilogy for the Pagosa Anemones parallel series in January, February, and March of next year. So busy time, a lot of books. Check out my author page. I even have Christmas themed books. The Ghost With trilogy starts out at Christmas time. A retired NSA analyst who has turned into a ghost writer while dealing with PTSD from a gone wrong, ends up on the run from Omni Energy mercenaries with 3 aliens they abducted. So yeah, all the fun at Christmas.
So this last link is like arguing with me. Sorry. For those of you who do not know, I am writer Sam Wicker. Welcome to my channel. I do sprints every Monday at 1 p.m. Eastern and every Thursday at 9 a.m. Eastern. We have a lovely character randomizer coming up on Saturday too. All are welcome. If you want to join me up here on stage, then let me know and I will send you the link. But I hope it's going to be a lot of fun because it's one of the things that are kind of near and dear to my heart because of anime. So yeah. Now then, are we ready to get into questions? Maybe, possibly.
Sure thing. Why not?
Sure thing. Now that I got the link to working. Okay. First things first, we have, since it's, the holidays, what are everybody's thoughts about releasing during the holidays, marketing during the holidays, and or writing about holidays or featuring holidays in books?
I'll go first. Okay, I have dropped a lot of books during the holidays, before Halloween, or Samhain, before traditional American Thanksgiving, before Christmas, New Year's, or right after New Year's, Valentine's Day, 4th of July. I have holidays because I have the Pagosa Clips is a contemporary series. There are holidays in the books. There are pivot points in the books, in the plots around holidays. So I have holidays in the book. However, and I will say this, I have, as far as the winter holidays go, for me, they are not as profitable as the summer holidays. Because I have always been extremely busy around the winter holidays because we have a family, we have social, we've always had school and social stuff and all of that, and my summer sales are always better than my winter sales, regardless of how many books I release, and my spring sales are always better than my autumn sales. Oh, and FYI, if you are doing a winter holiday release, you need to, or like going to like the Christmas shop sales, the Thanksgiving, Black Friday weekend, craft fairs, and Christmas winter sales, like little boutiques and stuff that spring up all over the autumn. Be aware you need to get your Amazon orders, your print book orders in October. You need to get those books and get your books and as much as your merch as you can before November 1st. If you are going to hit that pre-Thanksgiving through New Year's sales blast, you need everything in your hands very early. Or that's my experience.
Yeah.
I would tend to agree
never
with
can
that because my experience this year, I still can't get print books through anything that was drafted digital based because they have such heartache when it comes to paperbacks for some reason. Wind up having to redo stuff, and there are things that it's like you can put stuff out there and people can tell you step by step how to do it, but they're never, I don't think, at least me so far, I haven't seen any videos going into, hey, this could go wrong, hey, that could go wrong, hey, this is what you do when this goes wrong, and sometimes you have spot on service and things get done quick. And sometimes because of the holidays, it's going to take a little bit longer to get things handled. So that could put you in a really bad state of mind when you're trying to release. Luckily, ours is just a soft release, and we're like, okay, well, cool. If it happens, it happens. But like if you're like on a time schedule, like doing a Kickstarter or something, and you need those books, or you've got an event, and you need those books, then that could really put a damper on your holiday if you're planning something like a release at the holidays.
This print from Amazon took me a month to get.
Oof.
And I knew I wouldn't have it before the release. I ordered it to have it before the release, and it took 3 weeks longer. So excuse me a moment, please. There's been a disaster.
That was so dramatic. I love it.
I was trying to figure out who it was coming from.
I have a mute button right over here, so I was like, it's not me.
Oh, man.
Oh, that was perfect.
We're laughing with you, Mama Maggie, not at you.
Oh, man. Oh. So I feel like this is 3 separate questions, not like one question.
Bingo. I was wondering if I was the only one who was thinking that.
As far as like releasing during the holidays, I'm part of a Facebook group called 20 books. I don't even remember. 20 books to 50K, I think is the actual name of the group. And I don't remember. They've changed so many things recently. I don't follow it as much anymore. But one of the things that I have seen hyped upon by a lot of indie authors who have been doing this a lot longer than I have is like, don't release during the holidays. you're not going to get the sales you want. It's going to be harder to market because everyone's trying to buy the physical gifts. This is winter holidays, not like summer holidays. Everyone's trying to get the physical gifts. They're not buying for themselves. They're buying for other people. And if they are going to buy books, they're typically going to be buying more gift cards than physical books or ebooks, because they want to make sure that the person they're gifting to gets exactly what they want versus having to return it. Not saying that the individual purchases aren't happening. It's just gift cards are more acceptable these days. So one of the things that I was always told was not to do releases during the holidays or winter holidays, because you're not going to get the sales you might get as, say, during the summer holidays. And a lot of the summer holiday sales were more due to people going on vacation, wanting books to read during travel, or like beach reads are a very big thing and stuff like that. So as far as like featuring holidays, I'm the person that has a novella that is centered around Christmas, a holiday party. Like, that's the whole point of it. And then I've got Christmas featured in another book. So apparently I really like holidays and books, but I don't do a good job with that. So, meh.
I've only read the books around the holidays, like Christmas times. I know I follow an author, and she's written numerous series, and each one of her series has a winter holiday special book, and that the whole book is around that. But I kind of agree that releasing over like the winter holidays, unless it's like physical books, more people are just going to go buy the gift cards than the books and that kind of stuff.
Agreed. So there's like 2 or 3 members of my family that buy books for whoever they're buying for that year. And even though technically I'm an indie author this year, and I've been talking about indie authors and sharing indie authors with them, they have not once bought indie books to give. It's always been like the best sellers of that year or something like that. So there's still a little tier differential there. So I'm hoping that when indie gets even more popular than it is now, that will change, that more people will buy indie books during the holidays instead of the traditional books. But until then, I have to agree with Mama Maggie. Releasing during the other holidays is your best bet. I've never written anything with holidays or featuring holidays, so I can't really speak of that yet.
Well, it used to be like 5 years ago when I started publishing my publishing journey. It used to be that when I was looking at it in 2017, and then I was rolling into it. Took about 2 years. It was like always publish in November, be sure you publish in November and October, and be sure you're ready for the Christmas holidays, big book sales and all this stuff. And it never panned out for me. And I don't know if it's because we were all shifting. That was when we were really starting shifting into e-readers and ebooks, and then the pandemic happened. But the autumn and winter sales never worked for me. I track my sales by month. And in the past, and I've said this, that April, August, and October were always my worst sales months. But I went back and I looked at the last 2 or 3 years, and those were months that I didn't have releases because I was doing other projects. So I started looking at it of when I had releases versus when I was actually making sales. And the only time that I had good December sales was when I had 2 books drop the same in a 2-week period. Because like everyone was saying, people they're not sure what to buy for others when it comes to books. And so they want to get a gift that will not be returned.
Well, I put it in the chat that part of the reason that I usually wait to the end of the year is because I want to make sure that, and the release doesn't really have to happen, right? You can release any time of the year. But at the end of the year, I always make sure that I have promos in place because of those gift cards. Because people have their gift cards by the day after Christmas. So they're like, oh, now I can go spend the gift card.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that the promo's been out there for at least like a week. And so my focus this time was on my free book, actually, so that people could lead into the rest of the series. And also the first book in the prequel series. They were the two that I leaned on. And then this coming week, the promos are going to be focused on the new book. So for me, it's just the idea of people have that gift card. So now they're going to spend it on ebooks that they like. And if they happen to see one of mine, that'd be great. But the other part of the question, some people are really, really good at holiday stories, like the Hallmark romances and things like that they really love that genre, and cozy romances and stuff. It's like I just got Emma's the other day.
Isn't it adorable?
It is adorable. So I've got that I'm looking forward to reading, which is usually not my genre, but I read her other book and I really loved it. So anyway, it's like some people are really focused on that. For us, we have maybe 2 major stories in our world that happen at the winter solstice. So, it's going to be like a special event kind of thing when we release something like that. I don't know that other than romance, any genre really in particular benefits from the release and stuff of that time frame. You can tell me if I'm wrong.
Well, if you like search Christmas cozy anthology, there's just so many of them. And I have holidays in mind. I've been in Halloween and Christmas anthologies and the Bog Hag anthology for last Halloween, and it's I heard the dogs bark, and I was like, no. Now, Agent Mayhem decided to hop up on the counter and use his giant Great Dane telescoping sloth tongue to try to get some kitty food sprinkles. So, yeah, sorry about the noise. Yeah, Team Bog Hag, hashtag. No, but what, actually, if you're an indie author, if you're a first-time author, and my advice is not professional advice, this is just brain-damaged Omi out here on the prairie doing her own little thing. People get new devices around the holidays, around Black Friday, which is, throw your ebooks up for the Bookmas tag for the first 3 weeks. And for the first 2 weeks, for the 12 days after Christmas, throw your books up on sale, throw them up for a few free days, because people with these new devices, people who have been gifted gift cards, people who have gotten, you can now get Kindle Unlimited, a year subscription of Kindle Unlimited as a gift. So people who are getting that, they will definitely do the stuff their Kindle thing. May take them a little time to get around to read your book. But if you can still get your first book of a series into their e-reader, that they'll be browsing one day and say, that looks interesting. Have a flashy cover, have a catchy blurb. The marketing before Christmas is not what it used to be. It used to be that, like, unless you're in some place like Iceland or Denmark where giving books for Christmas is the hard and fast tradition, you might not have the sales. The other thing is, I had to order, because I got a bunch of print copies and I've been signing them and sending them out through my Ko-fi. I had to order more copies of Anemones in the Wind. I will not get those print books until January 9th. So I ordered them last week. I think it was Tuesday. And I will not see them until the new year. So pick your platform, pick your genre, pick your format.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody loves the holidays. Don't do that with candy canes. Just saying.
I've been watching so many TikToks of that one paramedic dude.
I love him.
Oh, yeah.
Don't do that. The Christmas ornament. Don't do that.
Is it sad that anytime someone mentions something that could be used in that way, the first thing I think of is that paramedic? I'm like, no, he's out there shaking his head at us.
Oh, I had a friend years ago who she was a traveling nurse, and she had spent the 90s working at the East Coast ERs in Los Angeles. And she was just like that. I'm sure that if she was still with us, that she would not find him funny at all. She would find him traumatizing, just simply because she's like, you won't believe what these people out here do. They do drugs and then they stick things in themselves. And it's like, oh, that's interesting.
That don't belong there, y'all. Don't put it there. Oh, so going back to the writing about holidays, have any of you guys done not a book where a holiday is featured in it, but where the entire book?
I'm sorry, Dawn.
But where the entire book is featured around a holiday, not like just the holiday happens in the book, but where the entire book is about said holiday, kind of like the Hallmark Christmas movies, but in book form. Because one of the things I've been hearing from a couple people, but I haven't experienced yet because the only book I have that features an entire holiday is currently the only one published, so I haven't run into this yet. But one of the things I've heard is that if you have a book where the whole book centers around a holiday, if it's part of a series, the rest of the series also needs to be centered. If it's not centered around the same holiday, at least some kind of holiday, because otherwise people go into that, especially with a first book, thinking that the series is about said holiday. And so when the rest of the series is not following said holiday, it doesn't do as well. Have you guys had any experience or seen that kind of thing?
I mean, I just thought it was kind of neat when people do that. I think that's a cool series idea, but I mean, if you've got a series and it's somewhere, it is placed, it is what it is. And if you've got, how would I put that? Oh, I would put it like TV shows. Like you have a full TV show that's got, that's constantly coming out weekly. And then they have a Christmas special.
But what if it starts with Christmas special and then the rest of the series is not Christmas special is what I'm more getting at.
I've not heard of that rule though.
I'm not saying it's a rule. It's just the books haven't been selling as well, kind of thing. Like the holiday one, because people go into the series thinking the whole series is going to be holiday featured. Then they get into the next book and it's like, this doesn't feature a holiday. What are we reading? Kind of thing. And the sales drop from there.
I think that might be like a genre shift thing. Like when you start a series in one direction and then you shift, this next book shifts away. Um, um,
It'll be
um,
interesting to see how this plays
yeah,
out.
it's interesting to see it. I haven't. The Ghost Witch series is all set in December. The entire thing is set in December, and there's a lot of like Christmas things talking about it, but they're more in there for like cultural aspects, because the Ellos have no religion or religious holiday per se, and they end up meeting Annie, who is the daughter of a Catholic and a Messianic Jew. And so she has both Christian and Jewish backgrounds and beliefs. But yeah, there's I think the holidays things, I think the thing with that is if you are overly inclined to have like this big holiday burst in the middle of your book somewhere, and it doesn't really fit the book, or it's just a thematic thing in there to pick up on the holiday sales, maybe save that for your reader magnet.
Mhm.
And because here's the thing is you can always put out all of your reader magnets as a collection later after you finish the books. And your reader magnets, even though you're not making money on them per se, putting them on your website, putting them in your Substack, putting them in your newsletter. I'm sorry, I still don't have that yet. I don't have enough spoons. Sticking them in different places, reading them onto your YouTube channel, your TikTok, your Instagram, your Facebook. These are all tools that will tag in the holiday and still bring you an income flow, because they bring attention, they bring in readers. And so if you are overwhelmingly obsessed with bringing in a holiday that's not really part of this world or this book, turn it into a magnet.
Yeah, these dogs are killing me in the background. Anyway, I've never had a book series be just specifically around the holidays or like around each holiday of the year. I haven't really come across that. I'm sure that they're out there, but if you want to do that, I like Dawn's suggestion here and Mama Maggie's of making it a reader magnet, and I think that would be good. Maybe. I don't know. I'm too early in the publishing life to really have an opinion on that, I think.
It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out for me, because the novella series I have, the first one deals with the characters going to a Christmas party. So the whole story is featured around this Christmas party. But there is an overarching storyline between all of these standalone series, but that's the only one that's holiday themed, and I have that one as the first. And I was wondering if it might be better to, because they're all technically standalones, I can switch up the order a little bit so that the holiday one isn't the first one, kind of thing.
Well, could you make the meet cute party not a holiday party, like a team building party or something? Is that shift possible, or does it have to be the Christmas party?
Christmas party, because that's the whole point of the plot. She writes the company does Santa letters, and she purposely says "Dear Satan" instead, and Satan comes to the party. So
Okay, I may have to get that.
Purposely centered around the holiday.
Yeah. Well, in my Pagosa Cliff series, I have the inciting event of the first book is the sister's death and her while giving birth to the niece, basically 12 days before Thanksgiving, and then there is a child loss that happens at the holidays. And so it seems like Red Velvet and Enemies is Christmas themed, but it's really not. It's really about the grief of loss around the holidays. And there's a lot of different holidays in the series because there's things that happen around Valentine's Day, which is the late sister's birthday. There's these really funny episodes that happen around the summer community baseball game, which happens in the first time you see, and then there's Halloween, because it's a contemporary small town community. A lot of communities like this have these like festival things around different holidays. And so there's one or two holiday events in each book because of the time that passes in the book, but the books are not holiday themed. So I guess the question is if you're doing if you're doing a holiday thing, how overboard do you go? How much effort, time, page time, word count, character activity do you put into the holidays? Is it just like a few pages, or is it chapters?
Okay.
What are your thoughts on that?
Are you asking me or everyone?
Everyone. What are your thoughts on how much page time do you give the IRL holidays in your book world?
In one of my books, there's the summer solstice, and it's just mentioned, but the main holiday on that day is one of the main characters' birthday. And that will be, other than I want to do one in Halloween in the same world, but it's not October yet in my world. It's still over the summer months. So that's another story, another holiday I want to kind of touch on.
The story that's actually about that time frame is like the whole premise is that all of the characters are getting together at Rose Matthews' ranch for winter solstice. So it's the story itself is going to be themed that way. You can't separate it out. And then there's another one that happens in the other world that is also a Christmas, but it's not Christmas. It's their version of the winter festival. So you can't take that out of it. But the rest of the series has nothing to do with any holidays or anything. It's just about their stories. So yeah, I guess I really don't know what to tell you about how I would. I mean, that's just how I do stuff. So, but that's how I was raised and how I was brought up with all the media, is that you have your story and then you have specials. So I've never thought about it that way. It's interesting.
Like I said, it's been an interesting experiment to see how this works, to see if I can pull it off and what'll happen as far as like sales go with each individual book afterwards.
Yeah, let us know. Is
this one going to do well, and then the rest of the series is going to do poorly, or is this one not going to do well and the rest of the series is going to do great? Like, it's going to be interesting to see.
Well, the next book is Satan's Little Valentine, and
next book's about the Reapers. Like I said, they're each individual stories with featuring different couples.
Death's Little Valentine? I don't know.
She's trying to help me by giving me other holidays to do.
I don't want to die on Valentine's. My life is pathetic enough. I can hear that character complaining.
Oh, God,
I don't have a date and death shows up. My life sucks.
I know what I just say right here with what is the line between holiday theme and holiday vibes? Is the line the whole plot or a chunk of the plot? And with this particular book, it's the whole plot. Whereas other books where I've featured holidays, it's a chunk, but not the whole plot. So I've had both.
That moment when your friends make the voices in your head right. And then I felt.
I don't need any more story ideas, guys. Come on. This series is plotted out.
Yes, you do.
Raise your hand if you have more than 50 story seeds.
I have over 100.
I added 2 more this week just because of stupid dreams.
Jenna sticks another sticky note on the wall. Yeah.
Oh man, no.
Moment when your friends make the voices. Yes. Oh my gosh. Terrible. We're terrible to each other.
Okay. Breathe in, breathe out.
And again, I want to apologize for her. I don't know what her problem is today, but she will not settle down, so she's making all the noise.
You heard all this going on in the background of my house. I just threw the dogs outside, and I'm like, "Go out, get out."
I'm surprised I haven't heard a door knock because JoJo will usually stand next to my door and then wag her tail to let me know that she wants to come in. But so far, it's been quiet.
All right. All right.
So this will go right with the holiday discussion. What do you do with family interruptions or external obligations and financial hardships? Again, 3 questions in one.
They want to cover their bases.
They do.
And it's like the holidays, like, okay, like mom's in the room, soon to be mom's in the room, someday mom's in the room. One thing you understand is November, December is as busy as November, December is as busy as August, September. The rolling the kids into school, trying to get those last minute vacations in, trying to get all of the stuff done for summer before school starts, and then all of the stuff that happens between the bookmark winter holidays, trying to get those 3 or 4 weeks in. Thanksgiving being moved back a week this year fricked up my brain, and so it's the family obligations is something that it can, as a writer, especially if like you're in a place where the muse is screaming at you, can be extremely frustrating. You need to take care of you, first of all, because the holidays are extremely stressful to everyone. And it might sound selfish, and it might sound like oh, you're ignoring your family needs, and it's the holidays, all of your focus should be on them. Yes, you should focus on them. Yes, you should be around them. But first and foremost, if you don't take care of you, you won't be there to take care of them. The other thing with like the financial hardships is because, our society, just the Western capitalized society, has shifted into this mindset of what is called the debt holiday. That if you are not in debt by December 26th, you're doing it wrong. And that is not something that should be true. That is not a burden that societal pressure puts on you that you no. And honestly, we need to go back, in my humble opinion, we need to go back to a place where everybody gets 2 or 3 gifts. One of them is handmade if you have the ability, and that you should not be looking at a stack of credit card bills at the end of the holidays. You should not go into debt to make the giant Thanksgiving feast that is going to be leftovers for 2 weeks, and half of it's going to end up in the trash. It's a marketing ploy. It is a selling ploy. And when we were having 12 to 15 people at our house for Christmas or Thanksgiving, yes, put on the big spread. hubby and I, kids are all out of the house. It's just hubby and I made a little 3-pound turkey breast and a little single serving side of stuffing and a little thing of sweet potatoes. And that was it. So yeah, it's all of these things listed interfere with your writing. And during the holidays, if the writing is the thing that gives you the refill, if it's the thing that gives you the calmness, do not feel guilty about setting aside time to write, because your self-care during this time to keep your sanity is just as important as making 1,000 cookies, making the huge feast, wrapping 1,000,000 presents.
I mean, it could be said that it's more important because otherwise you're going to be snapping at people if you've not been able to refill your well. I found that out the hard way. When the kids were teenagers, having to do so much for them during the holidays and so much for other people that were, to me, I was like, okay, and these are strangers, because you're having to do stuff for their classes. You're having to do stuff for all of this other situation going on. And, it's all these obligations that you feel are necessary, and you don't take the time to actually write. And for me, writing is cathartic. It's part of my process to de-stress. And if I don't write, I get stressed out. I get anxious or annoyed easily. So that's part of it. I agree completely with what you just said. Is you really need to set aside some time, if only to do that, to be able to de-stress through your writing. For those of us that do write like that, some people I've found out, which it wasn't until I got into the AuthorTube community and also the writing communities that some people see it kind of more like a job or part of a job. And so I imagine that their writing is a bit of a different take. Mine started out as a hobby to de-stress. And so I need it,
Well, I need a vacation after my vacation is true. It's
Oh, absolutely.
it's a colloquialism because it's true. We overstress ourselves. It's the do everything, be everything, have all the fun. And like by the time December 26th hits, between Halloween and that huge push into Christmas, by the time like New Year's Day, everyone is ready to just crash and burn. And they don't, the entire month of January is recovery time.
Yeah, for me, I know when my kids were younger, it was all about the kids and just like the Christmas cookies you have to make for the classes and all that stuff, all the family visits. But has now, when they've got almost kids, well, one does have a daughter and the other one is expecting in the summertime, that it's the whole holidays is shifted. And for me, for my daughter, she only comes home every other Christmas now. So it's rough. And we've always spent time with my son's wife's family over the holidays. So all I have to do for the holidays is normally just buy gifts, and it's not very many. So it's a more relaxed now. But I miss the hustle and bustle of Christmas stuff and making cookies, which I don't as much anymore because the kids aren't home. Why bother? And just buy what you can. I don't think we've ever went in debt over the holidays or used the credit cards. You just, whatever cash you have on hand, that's our gift money.
Yeah.
This comment that Dawn says at 8:40, multitasking like crazy and tune out the real world. B, holidays is not my best time of year, so I do what I must for my babies. And C, do what I can financially, not made of money. Yeah.
Make sure that you manage expectations.
I want to have Christmas at Cat Paws. Homemade chicken soup and artisan bread. Yes, please.
Yep.
Don't forget to pray.
As far as like family interruptions go, I have less now than when my kids were younger, because now I can go, hey, I'm going to be doing something for X amount of time, close the library door, and the only time it gets open is when the dogs need to be let outside. And I think it helps, and this is going to be different for everybody too, because I have a really supportive family, and I know that's not something everyone has as far as like writing related stuff goes. And because of that, I know my situation's a lot different than someone who has, whether it's a partner or even kids or even other family members or even just friends that aren't supportive of them and will purposely interrupt them because what they're doing is nothing to worry about. It's just a hobby. It's not a real job, whatever way you want, whatever excuse they come up with. And I think that has a lot to do with it too, because I know if I tell my family, hey, I'm going to be doing something I would like not to be disturbed, they're going to leave me alone for that amount of time. Whereas other people who are not as supportive are going to be like, your feelings don't matter, and tromp all over them. And I don't have any advice for that kind of stuff because I haven't had that situation. And I don't know how to handle it if I were to be in that situation.
Yeah. Okay. So
for me, when my kids were little, well, school age, that if I wanted to do some writing, they would do homework when I'd be writing. And then that way, we would we'd be doing things together. And of course, they would always interrupt because they needed help when they were younger for schoolwork. But the biggest external obligation interruptions now would be my husband. He doesn't seem to I want to go write, and he's like, oh, let's watch this movie instead. So you have to compromise, pick out which is the best, which you can't, because you can always write later.
I think that's my favorite thing about my husband being a gamer is because while I'm writing, he's gaming. And the only interruption I might get is if we're both off at the same time. He's like, hey.
Let's see. Eva says we decided as a couple that we wanted our youngest to have roots we didn't, so people can travel to us, but we don't intend to travel for the holidays again. Yeah. Alice has been subbing to everybody. That's a good thing.
Oh, thanks, Alice.
I think that's the other thing too, is because we are not huge. We're not very religious, so we don't celebrate holidays in a religious manner. We don't go visit family. We don't go visit friends. We kind of just stay in our own little bubble. At least now. Used to be my whole family would get together for different holidays, but now we're more central. And so it's very simplified. In fact, actually, my husband and I were planning our Christmas dinner yesterday because we were grocery shopping, and we were like, okay, we don't want a lot of leftovers because they're not going to get eaten by anyone but me and him. The kids won't touch them. For some reason, they have an aversion to leftovers. So we were like, what can we make that's small that we'll finish in one day kind of thing? And that's helping a lot. And even with the financial hardship part for that too, planning for a smaller meal because it is just the four of us and they're not going to help eat leftovers. And as far as like gift stuff goes, one of the things I want to try in the new year that we have not successfully done in the past is I want to set aside like $5 here and there throughout the year versus trying to be like, okay, this is how much extra money I have. I want to spend this much. And then at the end of the holidays, be like, I have this much total, divide it between all the people I want to get stuff for. And that's the set amount we're going to use for each person. Whether that happens or not, probably not. Let me dream big.
And another thing to think about too is January and February are usually very hard for mom and pop shops, just because there's not really a big holiday that they could do a sale on other than like President's Day or something like that. So if you have money saved up, or if you have gotten money for Christmas, do some early Christmas shopping in January and February with the mom and pop shops too. Help them out a little bit. But yeah.
I dropped 2 in the private chat.
Round 2.
2.
Okay. Cool.
Jenna mentions a video that helps out people. I'm gonna have to look that up. I'm curious about it.
Jenna
Here we
is
go.
very supportive. I love her.
Yeah, there's a video about med school insiders on YouTube that is older, but they describe how to deal with those kind of interruptions with boundaries as part of their explanation of the Pomodoro method. Nice. Yeah. And as far as the fur babies go, you just
I love
gotta
her.
deal with
I loved her her thing that she wrote in there.
Catechus interruptus.
Or caninus interruptus is
Today is that day.
Yeah.
today is definitely caninus interruptus.
She is sleeping now.
Yay!
After all of that, she is sleeping now. So we should be good until she starts snoring really loud. Oh, goodness. Okay. Eva says, shopping 11 months early is too much obligation. Lower the number you shop for on Christmas. Shop for people all year long. Yes. We try to shop for people all year long. But
We're very much a family. If we see something and we have the money, we go ahead and buy it.
Yeah, same. That's why everybody's like, "How are you done with Christmas shopping?" Because if I see it during the year and it reminds me of somebody, I go ahead and get it if I can.
Yeah.
I have a drawer that has gifts in it, and because none of the kids are going to be home until like the 28th or 29th, yeah, we're going to go shopping on Christmas after this year. We're going shopping on the 26th this year because stretch that budget. Nobody's here Christmas Day anyway. It's just a date.
Great candy buying day too. Ooh.
Yep.
Yeah.
I want candy. Day after Halloween, day after Christmas.
Yeah. That's
Yes,
the
home
one
decor
thing.
shopping day.
That yes,
I already
especially
have a
Halloween.
list of the places that I'm going to get like I'm definitely going. They announced this week that our Big Lots will be closing in our last local Big Lots, the one that's like in Pueblo. All of the ones in Colorado Springs are gone. There's only 2 in the Denver area. There's one in Pueblo. That one is going to be closing. So I'm going down there to get more of the Happy Meowie Palmas Christmas ornaments with the pet themed Christmas ornaments. Yeah, I'm going down there to get more of those on the day after Christmas.
So going out and get some holiday decor. Shop all year. Yep. Okay. So we'll pop up here and get to this question right here. So this leads into the question of what do you do if your family / friends do respect your writer's journey? Do not. Okay.
Do not. Do not respect your writer's journey. This is a struggle for a lot of writers, because especially if they're new to their writer's journey, if their family's not used to them taking blocks of time during the week to write, they feel like that's their time. They're taking their time away, and do not feel guilty about it. Do not feel guilty about saying, I have this, I have that. My husband he's shifted to the night shift. He now has weekends off, and he was like, blah, blah, blah for this weekend. I'm like, honey, I got streams all weekend. I got Rachel's book launch. I got Breaking the Block. I got Jenna's last Soul Care Sunday is today. It's if they're gonna demand time, that they have time to do their game, like Jenna says, do their gaming time, do their sports time, do their movie time, then they need to give you your time to write. Now, do some of us fall down the rabbit hole and disappear into our laptop for 6 to 12 hours at a time?
I don't think I've gone that far. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just in denial. I don't know.
Egypt is nice this time of year.
Okay, yeah, Celtic history and mythology. Got it. Yes.
Yep. I like
But
this. Even
to
says,
be fair,
get a new family and friends.
I have ideas written down and they're becoming something. So, yeah, that Celtic mythology wasn't so bad.
No. 20 years later. Demand, I respect your gaming time, sports time, news time, TV, whatever time. I'm expecting the same. Let's see if Sam can talk today. Sorry, I apologize.
Scared.
I think my time was whenever it was questioned. Like I tried to make time for the children, especially because, like when they come to you, even as teenagers, it's like if they're willing to talk to you, then I show them attention, and I make sure that I'm listening to them and I'm fully engaged. But when it became a point of they're interrupting and you've already given them everything that you've given them and stuff, there have been a couple of sit downs between me and kids. They're all adults now, so I don't have to worry about it anymore. But there were times when I had to sit down and I had to explain to them that, mom has to have her time too. I've been taking you everywhere that you need to go. I've been hosting parties for you. I've been making sure that you've got everything for school, even though you never make sure that you've got everything for school. So yeah, it's like, you have your time. Now I need just a little bit of time to myself too. As to the husband, he was never really, like I would complain, but he would never really be really bad about the interruptions. And now that he's writing too, he understands a little bit more too. But I also agree with the situation of, he had gaming. He was gaming or doing stuff on his own while I was writing. So it was kind of also a compromise situation wherein we're like, oh, let's have a date night. Let's do it. Let's make sure that we're both on the same page for that. We're going to leave everything here and go out there and focus on each other or do something that's fun for both of us. And that way, when you really need that intense writing time, you're less likely to get interrupted if you've already done these things ahead of time, if that makes sense.
My suggestion is balance. Give the kids, give the spouse your time, and then just do your own thing. But it's more difficult, I feel, or I felt, when the kids are little because they needed more attention. They needed you more. And then when they've all grown up, it's kind of, you miss the interruptions. At least I do.
And don't, a lot of us have toxic family members and sadly toxic friends who are like, but you're not making any money. You're not getting famous. You're not, and they're putting all these worldly success expectations on you. And you just have to explain to them that, I'm not writing. I don't write to become that author famous expectation. I write because it's for me. I write because it fills me. And sadly, there are people who are going to, and I don't know why they do this. I have these people in my own biological family who are just like, if you are not doing something that directly benefits them, they will find a way to criticize it, no matter how happy it makes you. And it's that, and it's some, and usually it's the people closest to you, and they'll always quote that blood is thicker than water crap when you say that you're closer to your writer friends than you are your family IRL friends. And the thing is having your tribe, having your community that understands you, puts a protective shell around your heart, and it's for you. And it's okay to be a little selfish. It's okay to say, it doesn't matter that I'm not going to be a millionaire as a writer. I write because I love it. I write because I enjoy it. And they will keep pushing your buttons, and you will set the boundary, and they will try to push the boundary over. And it's a back and forth cycle. And sometimes you can't sometimes you can't kick these people out of your life. You're just stuck with them. And sometimes you can. So that becomes an individual choice for your own mental health. But we've all said it. You need to, make some allowances. Be sure to spend time with your loved ones. But do not use your writing as a reason to completely ignore the outside world. Although sometimes we just want to padlock the door shut. You are a valid person. If this is what you love, if this is what refills your spirit, you have the right to do it.
Yeah.
You can be whatever you want, do whatever you want, except murder.
Questionable.
Sometimes. No. Let's see. Dawn says, I didn't tell my family for the longest time, but now they either respect my choices or they don't need me. I respect everyone's and just expect the same. Right. Eva can't really relate to this question, to be honest. My husband and children are my biggest fans, and my mother does her best. But also that's my entire family. So it's all about that balance. So to kind of speak on this from my perspective, my family, those that I count as family, are supportive, and they continuously ask me how everything's doing and all that stuff. Those that I don't count as family, I made that barrier, and that was my choice. That was to protect me. So it hurts to do that sometimes, but you got to do what you got to do in order to protect yourself and to protect your writing and your creative self. And like Dawn says, I'm used to being the outsider of my family.
On the opposite side of that spectrum, with the balance, because of the fact that I have such a supportive family, one of the things that I do is if my family comes to me and they need me right that second because there's something going on, I drop whatever I'm doing. Or like my kids have hit that point where they don't talk to me a lot because they've got their own stuff going on and they don't need me anymore as much. So when they come to me and say, hey, can I talk to you about something? I'm going to be like, yeah, I'm with you. Let's go. I don't care what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So, and I think that helps balance it out too, is sometimes showing that when they really need something, I will be there for them. Helps a lot too.
Yeah. And kids and teenagers who learn to respect that for their parents often becomes adults who do it for them too. So it's also a teaching path. Baby Yoda pajamas. Let's see.
Okay, she tried to make Milo wear something the other day, and he gave her a look that I was like, he's going to pee on something. He's going to pee on something of yours for this. He is.
Watch your shoes. He's going to pee on
And and Esther's got a good point. It's a lot harder when a family member relies on you for everyday care, but communicating that you need time for writing works most of the time. And this also works together with Skye's point too. I was a caretaker for my grandparents, and I wrote during that time as well, and I also had schoolwork. But if they called my name, I dropped everything and I was right there for them.
Yeah.
My family is so stubborn, so they wanted to do everything for themselves, and they wouldn't call me until they absolutely needed me, until towards the end there, so at the beginning, I had a lot of time to do my things. I could clean the house, I could write, I could do my schoolwork and still take care of them. And towards the end, it was just my writing had to be put on the back burner, and so did school. And it was fine. I wouldn't have given up that time. I still won't give up that time for the world. So yeah, it's just, you got to find balance within yourself. And yes, we are the biggest distractions to ourselves. Can't ignore the outside world. Yes, I wish. Sorry, I'm trying to go through the comments.
Hi, Heather.
Yeah, different. Good morning. All right. So let me grab this other one here. If it'll come on. There we go. Okay. It's the time of year for resolutions. What encouragement can you give to writers who feel like giving up for the new year?
Don't give up.
Take a break. You just may need a break and get back into it. Never give up on your dreams, no matter how long it takes. Even if it takes you literally 5 to 10 years to write that novel, you've got it.
Or 20 or 30 years. It's fine.
Or you have brain damage from a stroke.
Don't fall into the toxic resolution situation where you're making yourself a goal and something may come up, like, I don't know, an eyeball taking a strike, and you can't manage that goal, and then you get upset with yourself because you can't manage that goal / resolution / whatever you want to call it. Just be vague. Don't, I'm going to do some work on this year. That's a great resolution. I'm going to do some work on this year. Don't push yourself into something that's going to become toxic when it comes to resolutions. And just things in general. If you're talking about writing in general, don't make yourself feel like you need to give up just because you haven't reached a certain situation or certain thing that you've got in your mind that is a set goal. Get rid of that. Just write. It's freeing.
Yeah.
Be flexible with everything going on around you, because everything could change in an instant, and what works today may not work tomorrow, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that. Sometimes we have to pivot and make changes in order to accomplish what we want to accomplish, and there's nothing wrong with that. It's not a bad thing.
Yeah.
You are not alone in your struggle. You are not alone in the feeling like, is it really worth it to put all this time and all this effort and everything into your writer life? I have 30 books out. I struggle with the imp constantly. And I think the biggest lesson that I learned early on, before the pandy, back in 2017, when I was having a lot of success with my serialized fiction, is that the myth of that writer's life, while it does happen to someone, your books still deserve to be out there. Your words still deserve to be out there. And setting yourself up for failure by saying, I'm going to be the next, and then that year passes and you're not the next, can be soul crushing. Don't try to claim, they talk about manifesting, and I'm sorry, I'm going to call that BS, because trying to claim someone else's success for yourself is putting an undue burden on your emotional and mental health. You are you. You are not them. You are you. And your journey has its own path. If you see that your writer journey, you're about to give up on it because you feel like, this thing is wrong or that thing is wrong, find some resources, find a community to encourage you. If you're like me and you struggle with marketing, go back to the Author to a Writers Conference on SD Houston's channel. Watch the old videos on marketing, watch book marketing videos, maybe join a free online seminar, Pro Writing 8 if you are struggling with world building. Go to World Anvil's YouTube channel, watch the content they put out on YouTube and Twitch for world building. They have specialists come in and talk about it. If you're struggling with marketing, go to Self-Publish with Dale. Look at all of his marketing videos. If you're struggling just with any aspect of writer's life, you can find tutorials. You can find people talking about their journaling. And most of all, you can find people who are making the same journey you are making. You are not alone. If you love words, if you love writing, even if your writing is like if you never publish actual print books, that's fine. Ebooks are real books too. Don't let anyone tell you they're not. Serialized fiction on fanfiction.net and Wattpad, those are real books too. Don't let anyone tell you you're not a writer. If you love words, if you love putting out words, you're a writer. Don't let yourself be discouraged by the voices of the world around you, by the shadows of other people's success stories. It's a scary time for writers right now because, like we talked about last week, AI is encroaching into indie writer spaces, and all we can do is keep putting our own words out there and moving forward. Do what you love.
No.
As somebody has said, somebody's waiting to read your book. So
Yeah.
Don't give up. Just take a break, reevaluate. Exactly what they said.
Yeah. And ask yourself this question: would you be happy with yourself in a year or returning to this after a break? It's crushing, but keep at it for yourself. Eva says, I paid $25 for 2 books yesterday that are not masterpieces. I have 0 regrets. The author was lovely and my son loves the books. You're good enough. Maybe even a kid's favorite author for the week or an adult's. Stephanie says it's okay to take breaks, naps, or resting when you need it. Don't push yourself to the edge. Do not give yourself burnout. You're going to have to take care of you so that you can fulfill your dreams. Yeah, you might need a break, relax, rest, refill, reflect on, or you might need a new perspective. We are close to the end of the year, but the year hasn't ended exactly. And Cat Paul doesn't know. Part of me wants to give up. I'm not getting anywhere, and LC brain is real, making it more difficult. I need to make money, and there are only so many spoons available. Be gentle with yourself, because you've got this. All of us up here believe in you. Pacing in your time matters. Skye has a good idea. Write all of this down as affirmations to read back through down, or when you're feeling the imp pop up. And yeah, don't be the next X person.
Coulda, shoulda, woulda is terrible. You don't want to regret this years down the road. I love your words, love yourself, give yourself some grace. I think this is a good place to stop, because we want, as fellow indie authors, we want you guys to love your words and love yourselves. And it's just, I don't know how to encourage someone other than to say that you're not alone. There is a community here waiting for you to encourage you and to understand. And, it's, if you're like Skye and you're writing 5,000 or 10,000 words a day to get out, or you're like me and you stupidly wrote a couple million words before you ever started editing, and now you're just trying to word vomit your books out into the world because editing sucks. There is some place in the middle. I have a friend in England. She writes 200 pristine words a week, and your writing journey is your writing journey. It's, all of these influencers. Yeah, no, don't listen to them. They're being paid to sell you something. All the ads that will pop up during this video, and at the beginning of this video, once it goes around, and at the end of this video, once it goes regular. It's just the machine trying to sell you something that it thinks you want for your journey. Your journey is your journey. You have the thing you need here and here.
I think the last thing I want to add is that if you are struggling, reach out to someone you think would be able to help you. Whether that's just to give you an encouraging word or to let you vent to, so that you can get everything that's bothering you off your chest, so that you can either work through what you need to in order to get past those feelings, or if nothing else, just to feel validated in your feelings and what you're going through. And I think that is probably the best thing that you can do for yourself that will allow you to get past the feelings that you might be feeling down about, is just to reach out to someone and talk. It doesn't even have to be necessarily family or friends. It could be someone in the writing community. It could be someone in the booktube community. It could be someone completely outside of anything related to what you're feeling down about. Just talk to someone.
Yeah.
And at times, the writing community on YouTube, if you find a community streams like this, even if you don't feel like writing, just go to one of the streams and it will help. Because I know sometimes you just don't want to write, you've given up, but then you go to the stream and all the support and encouragement from the hosts, the people in chat, that you just get your words back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And if you're stuck, don't be afraid to like mind shop with everyone else, because I mean, like the dawdling writer, she does streams 3 times a week, and there's a lot of people that are coming up be like, I am so stuck. And like everyone on the stream will be like, well, let's workshop with this with you. These are suggestions and these are ideas. And what if it played this way? Yeah. And just having the support group around you makes you feel like you're not alone. And that's the most important thing, because there is no such thing as I'm too stupid to do this. I'm too uncreative to do this. I don't have the ability to do this. I have brain damage, and I had an agent tell me I shouldn't ever write books ever because brain damaged people shouldn't write books. Yeah, don't listen. Don't listen to them. They make murder okay. I mean, don't know. Murder's bad. Made you laugh, I win.
Can
Doing.
I murder characters? Is that still allowed? Because I really want to murder some characters.
Murdering
I don't
characters
know
is
what
fun.
you're
Yeah, I want that coffee cup that says, "Don't make me angry. I'll murder you in my books."
Yes.
See, the people that I want to murder in real life, I don't want to give them the satisfaction of living through my words. Maybe I'll write a short story about them and then burn it.
Write it for you. It doesn't have to be published.
Right.
I love you,
All right.
Esther.
Yeah. Live streams help a lot. And they always do. I don't know why. It's just, this community is just amazing.
Raise your hand if you go back and rewatch live streams just to catch up on the chat.
All I've been doing lately is watching videos. I'm still a month behind on that. I'm not going back and checking live streams. I'm sorry.
I watch live streams playback at like 2 times speed because
I find it funny because people will be like, "Hey, so have you caught up on this series here, or have you caught up on that series here?" No, but I have caught up on all these YouTubers.
Yeah. For real. Or just to laugh.
Y'all are making me feel bad because I'm the only one who does it.
I don't do it as much as I used to because I don't have the time.
That's
But
to be honest, no one is in the house with me, so I can put it on the TV while I'm doing things and just have it zooming through. And yeah.
I mean, my watch list, I only get through videos when I'm at work anyway, so I'm not even actively watching. I'm only listening. So to have like live streams play, especially with sprints, if it's like a panel discussion like this, that's a different story.
Yeah.
But anything with sprints, I'm going to scare myself when the sprint ends and some people suddenly start talking again.
I will skip the sprints. I will like when I love like Esther's live streams. I love the chats going on, like Esther and Nia and JC's live streams. I will put on their live streams. I will skip the sprints to the next chat break, and I will watch their live streams like that.
I do that too.
I want to know what's going on in my girl's world. I feel left out. I have FOMO RIFO. I have fear of missing out on my writer friends. So it's FOMO RIFO.
yeah. But if you like speed through like the sprints, then you miss all the chatting in the comments about D&D and what else was it? Days of Our Lives that we got to on
Dinner
Rita's
Hospital. The wise grandmother and Iron have the same phonetic base in Gaelic.
Yeah. FOMO RIFO. Oh, goodness. All right. Let's go ahead and wrap this up so that we'll get back to it next Sunday. If y'all want to do your outros maybe opposite this time, we'll start with Maggie, then Rita, then Skye, and then Rach, pointing in the wrong direction. Woohoo!
I'm just agreeing with what Jenna posted.
I'm part of this family now.
Okay. Hello, lovelies. I am Mama Maggie Ward, independent author, stroke survivor, migraine sufferer. I scribble way too much, and now I'm stuck editing way too much. So yes, hello. Don't be a mama. No, write, edit, repeat. I love you all. Merry Christmas. I hope Happy Yule, Blessed Solstice, Happy Hanukkah. I hope that your writer journey goes well. Do not let your struggles overwhelm you. We are here for you.
I'm Rita over at Miranda's Cauldron. I write young adult urban fantasy with witches and family secrets. I normally host Mondays and Saturdays. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Blessed Yule, and all that stuff. And I'll see you in the new year or before.
All right, and I am Skye. I am a fantasy author who typically writes paranormal romance under SD Higgis. I live stream late Saturday evenings, which is why it's always surprising when I can join this the next morning. And I post videos whenever I post videos because I don't really have a set schedule these days. I technically should have a video coming out today that I haven't even finished editing yet, so that's great.
Hi, I'm Rachel Adams, Rachel D. Adams on YouTube, and as an author, I write paranormal romance and urban fantasy, among other things. I also have a Substack called Aggressively Helpful Writing Advice, so check that out if you can. I am a notorious stream hopper, so you'll see me around even through the holidays, and I hope that everyone has a wonderful, safe holiday.
Thank you all for joining us. It has been a lovely breaking the block as always because our chats and my co-hosts make it worthwhile all the time. And like I said, we'll catch you back next Sunday. And there is an ugly sweater party going on in 90 minutes. Make sure to hit that up. I left the link in the chat. And we will see y'all next time. Bye.